Hello, it's good to see you and welcome to our next video in the 6 weeks in James series. So this is 6 weeks in James week 6, and we've already discovered that we're not going to manage to do the whole of James in the 6 weeks, but we need to keep the title the same so that the videos all fall into the same package. This week we're looking at James chapter 3 verse 13 through to chapter 4 verse 12. And what a challenging passage this is. We will have lots to explore and discuss as we go through the week. I sometimes come away from reading James wondering what next he's going to give me a hard time for. He really does address issues with great energy, and he challenges us in all sorts of ways. So far, he has been talking really about double-mindedness in a number of areas. On the one hand, we want God's wisdom, and yet only half-heartedly. We hear God's word, but we do not respond. We have faith, but we don't translate that faith into active love for those in need. We bless God, and then we use the same tongue to speak uncharitable words about other people. And now James brings all of this to a bit of a head. He suggests really that there are two irreconcilable ways of living. One way of living is based on earthly wisdom, and the other way of living is based on heavenly wisdom. And of the two, of course, it is heavenly wisdom that produces the much better results. In verses 17 and 18 of chapter 3, James says, "But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Preachers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness." So James wants us to be living good lives, and he shows that the way to live our lives well and to live as Christians well is to submit ourselves to God and to treat each other well. So he then goes on and he draws attention to the way things are. Chapter 4 starts off with some very strong words. We don't know anything about the troubles that James has in mind, but he seems to say something like, take a good look at yourselves. Look at the mess you're in. Sort yourselves out. But he doesn't leave it hanging there. He provides a signpost to a better life. He says, submit yourself to God and treat each other well. Now, I don't know if you feel that things are as bad now as they seem to have been in the churches James is writing to. And that perhaps is a really good question for us to discuss. The question, how do our churches measure up against the sort of problems that James is talking about? I think in some ways this is maybe just the next item on James's list of aspects of double-mindedness. It's that question of how committed we are to Christ and his cause. Where does that commitment impact our lives? Are we struggling with half-hearted commitment? And there's always that question, isn't there, of balance and of our other commitments, our commitment to family and to friends and to church and to society and to employer, whatever it is. Where does the commitment to Christ come into that? And James is pushing forward to help us to sort that out and to make sure that our commitment to God, that we submit ourselves to God, that our relationship with God isn't just a sort of chummy sort of thing where we decide what we want to do and what the impact will have on our lives. Submit is a strong word. So he's very strong on submitting ourselves to God, and very strong that we really should treat each other well, that our love for others is important. And that perhaps is a reflection on the new commandment that Jesus gave his disciples. when he said you should love one another. So we should love God with all of our beings. We should love our neighbours, and that really has been sort of dealt with, isn't it? But now James is perhaps reminding us of that third commandment, that we should love each other, that we should treat each other well. So there's lots to talk about. So I'm looking forward to your input and to your questions. And so this will come out by email, and we need 5 or 6 questions for us all to work through and to use for the video next Tuesday night. And so I look forward to doing that. I wish you well, and God bless you all.